Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to MOBA Warmup Clash brought to you by Algambo Esports and sponsored by none other than Mobile Legends 5v5. So, once again, we are back with our scrims, and this is going to be another BO1, and it is between Team Quantum Eclipse going up against Team Almost Pros. So, on to my right, I'm your caster Itami, and joining me will be another caster that is going to be one of my friends, and one of your casters, of course, it is going to be Asuya. So, Almost Pros will be taking the left, and Quantum Eclipse will be having the right side onto the side. So first pick advantage onto the side of Team Almost Pros. So yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, we did see Almost Pros on action previously.
Different perspectives expose the same
I
truth.
really don't recall it, Ami, but I do recall seeing
I've been
Team
waiting
Quantum
for too
clips.
long.
So, but then again, we will be watching what they have to offer right now. With this Paquito being the standard ban every
See
other match,
value in
every other
me?
scrims. Marcel being
You
on that
should.
list too.
I
I
am
mean,
a
he's
dog
not
from
that good when it
Northerdale.
comes to solo
I
queue,
swear
but
to
when
protect
you're
it
on
till
a
my
trio
last
or a
breath.
five-man, I think
Ghost in
he is a really,
space.
really good tank. Fred and Waleed, I think Waleed is really good this meta since we have those, EXP as well as the tanky junglers coming back into action. So banning out the Valir can be a good option, but then again, there are a lot of better picks from the side of Team Pros. They can go and grab them.
Yeah, I agree with you. And mostly it's just the regular bands, to be honest. And they don't have, let's say, there's no some kind of unorthodox ban from either of the sides. So almost pros, they do have the advantage onto here. And most probably it should be
Malachi
the
enters
jungler
the
or
scene.
maybe the EXP lane getting prioritized. And then Akai flex pick quite early on could be going on onto the jungle as well as onto the roam. But earlier on, Akai could be, it is a flex pick, I agree, but the counter picks could also be coming up immediately from the side of Team Quantum Eclipse. So, how will they respond
Now you lead
against
the
that
way to
Akai?
the next adventure.
Well,
Butterflies
Akai is actually
falling like
pretty
I wish,
tanky, but they
guided
have the
by
Zushin open,
lanterns
and yes,
lit.
Zushin just takes the spotlight, and this is what I was mentioning. Since the village has been banned, Zushin is a great option because she's usually banned in most of the scrims and tournaments, and she can actually be really annoying to any pick which is something like Arakai. I think that's a great job from their side since the carry had been banned away. So we kind of got that pre idea that
Among the
they're going to pick
planes
something tanky, a
exists the
tanky hyper,
equilibrium,
tanky
which I was
EXP.
made
But
for.
with this, we
Let
have the
them play
even
the
response.
hero.
I think
I
even
will
after
be
the
the
nerf, pretty
truth
good
this
when it
world
comes to
desperately
utility,
needs.
Valor and
pretty
royalty
good
in a dead
range, and
body.
also provide a lot of space to the marksman. Yuzhong and a Leomord, I think all six picks are pretty solid right now.
Yeah, I do agree. And the thing with the Jushin is, regardless of the nerfs and everything, she's one of the heroes. No matter what the patches or the meta is, she some way around, she still is able to find up some spot for her onto the meta.
Magic
So
is
she's
my
one of the
life.
mage that is definitely quite of an S tier pick in my opinion. So is the
Come
Eve
on,
against
Dexter.
utility
It's our
jungler.
showtime.
She's gonna be working out really well, even against a fighter jungler too. So
I am
against
the
a
power
Leo,
of
the
light
positioning is going to be
incarnate.
one thing
I
that is
am
that
vengeance
she
incarnate.
needs to be aware of. But at the same time, if she has a flicker and the positioning is right, and if she is able to land the RWM quite up onto the play, then it is going to be quite beneficial. And at the same time,
Time and tide wait
Almost
for
Pros as
no
well as
man,
Team
nor
Quantum Eclipse have
girl.
already completed out onto the second banning phase as well. Gold lane bans were the priority, but once again, Quantum Eclipse will be prioritizing out the Beatrix. I think I have seen the Beatrix before, and it is really good when it comes out onto the laning. There is no proper counter pick for her, but at the same time, if she is able to scale up with the gold, the damage is going to be quite massive once she gets her
I am
itemizations.
sovereign of the abyss,
Definitely,
destroyer
especially
of
after she
gods.
gets that BOD. I think one of the scariest MM out there. And Obsidia is also pretty good because she's one of those heroes who can build the Trinity. And if you give her a Sky Piercer, she's like a Clint. She just melts you down. And with that, I think Beatrix was a solid option since the Claude as well as the Moscow, all the DHS users have been just taken away. And with this, I think both the sides are pretty good. But right now, when it comes to a Yuzhong as well as the Akai, they both will be diving in, and the utility mage Eve will be there for the support. But then again, Zushin can move away. Sora has a lot of dashes. Beatrix also has a dash and Leomord. I think that banning away the Kaja is a very great option because Kaja as well as Baksha, they just hard counter the Leomord. He is a very good pick, but then again can be countered easily, but the counters are not there. And Itami, I have been seeing Belric pick rate being just sky high right now. Do you have any idea why?
I probably believe it is not because he directly got the adjustment, but it was the adjustment onto the items. And mostly it is because if it is an attack speed based kind of against an Obsidia, Beleric is like a counter pick. But they have the Obsidia and they have the Beleric for the side as well. But if the Beatrix uses the Nibiru and it is combined with the Vengeance, then Beleric is going to be kind of a counter pick once he gets the blade armor against the Beatrix. Can literally go 1v1 against them and get the trades as well. And at the same time, it is because of the taunts as well as the ultimate adjustment. Most probably, his ultimate cooldown has been reduced. So that is one of the reasons why Beleric has been quite of a priority. But leaving all of that, once again, we are back onto the game. This is going to be a BO1 between Team Almost Pros going up against Team Quantum Eclipse. Asuya as well as Itami are onto the casting decks. So here we are already. It's just the first neutral objectives as well as the first level 4 priority that would be prioritized from either of the sides.
Yeah, definitely, and they're just zoning away the enemy jungle right now, and especially after the new buffs when the side creeps give a lot of EXP. I think stealing away that one creep from the Leomord is a good thing they did out there. Well, right, just providing some vision, doing that active roaming because that's what's pretty good. And with that in the EXP lane, though, I would really like to say that against Yuzhong and the Sora. Sora will be kind of suffering until he gets that level 4, and since level 4, I think he will be doing pretty good. And with this, even the top lane, Obsidia kind of a bit weak when compared to a Beatrix in the early, so she really needs to play it safe as she's doing. She does have the first skill to proc away the last hits, but meanwhile, just look near the blue buff. The invade is kind of really strong coming in from the side of the Yuzhong. It's the Beleric. Even though they do have a Grok, they do have a Leomord and Zushin, and yet it's kind of surprising that how the blue team is able to gank and okay.
There's the Petrify onto 3 people, and that will be a stop actually. First blood onto the Leo mod before even getting the level 4. So that is going to be quite of a trade for almost pros. The Yuzhong, it is, of course, it is Leo with the name, and the guy will be getting a 3-man Petrify as well as a kill onto the jungler. So a huge advantage for the side of team almost pros already. They can be contesting out for the turtle, but at the same time, Leomord doesn't have the level 4 yet, so it could be quite advantageous for this side.
Leo really sad because he doesn't really want any interruption till he gets that level 4 because his spike comes with his horse. They are really sad to see because his jungle got invaded multiple times, even the turtle not onto his side. With this, he will be kind of falling down. And then once again, they are not able to utilize the Zushin card, I would say. Eve, like, Eve doing slightly a bit better, but with this, we do see the flicker being baited away from the Eve, and the Grog with the wall, 4 members in between. And Belric, he just heals up so much, you really can't. No, I think one of those tanks you can't really melt in the beginning. Like, if there's a tank like Minotaur, you can mark him down and he'll be taken down pretty easily. But with this, we have the Yuzhong coming up.
He will try to go in with the Black Dragon form. Once again, the Petrify onto 2 people. There's the engage from the side of Team Almost Rose. Once again, Razor gets the kill onto the Grok. Grudgewell goes down as well. A 2-for-none trade actually for the side of Team Almost Rose. Once again, they try to go back. Crimson Beacon yet to be used. Is actually used out from the Jushin, but still no trades for the side of Team Quantum Eclipse. And again, a win situation for the side of Team Almost Rose. They are leading in terms of the objectives as well as onto the gold.
Well, definitely the Yuzhong providing a lot of utility, a lot of good initiations. He's just providing a lot of value in the EXP, I would say. The Sora, he really needs that level 4, didn't get that level 4 as soon as the Yuzhong got it, but now the EXP has the gold advantage, right? So he will be kind of suffering a bit. Maybe, okay, this is what I was talking about. A level 4 Sora can take down a Yuzhong if he does not have his ultimate. Yep, with this, I would say a kind of a shutdown. Pretty good for the side of Team Quantum for right now.
I agree. And at the same time, not because of having the Petrify was kind of troublesome for the Yuzhong, of course, Leo went down, and that was quite of a letdown, to be honest, because they needed it. At the same time, the heavy spin comes up from the Akai in order to escape. The turtle will be spawning, and once again, it will be Team Almost Pros trying to contest it first.
If we are seeing the Lord dance happening, Grog just providing some zone. Same goes for the Zushin, just but then she really needs to save up her stacks because once she stacks, she cannot stack for a lot of time. And with this in the top lane, we do see the Obsidia just marking down the Beatrix, but meanwhile the Turtle Shield just saves her. But Grog with that stun, just look at the Sorals comes in behind the line. The Yuzhong goes in, grabs for the kill, but the Zushin comes in clutch, takes him airborne, and finally another kill into the hands. But then again, Zushin did a bit good, but then we do not have the marksman as well as the entire team fight in the hands of Team Almost Pros.
Yep, and Suguru is really low in HP as well. And once again, Team Almost Rose will be the one having the advantage. There is an Viru's passion just comes up right on time to disengage them. They just retreat out onto low HP, and I think this is still a win for the side of Team Almost Rose. They have the lead and they have the neutral objective size for their side too. Tier 1 goes down first. So it is going to be once again Team Almost Pros as well, leading out. I think the early game advantage that they had, they took full advantage of it, and right now they are leading on to it. But still, I believe if Quantum Eclipse actually punishes them for the overextension, then that could be one of the things that could be quite trading off. Oh nah, that Jushin just falls off.
Well, that's the beauty of a bell rig. The taunts are way too annoying, plus the taunts even got buffed. There's not much delay. Meanwhile, we do see the Yuzhong trying to engage once again along with the Akai. Okay. And the Eve also joins up, but this red team, they just decide to disengage for now, waiting for their ults to go back. But look at the Yuzhong, the Akai, and the Sora's ult gets faded away. He is kind of in a very precarious position. He should have moved back because he's getting clutched, he's getting sandwiched, has nowhere to go at this point. Flickers away, tries to go in Belric with the ultimate, trying to dish some damage right inside the turret. The Yuzhong with the Black Dragon form right behind, into the backlines. The Petrify isn't there, but look at the Grog with 3-man ult. The 3-man start coming up. A lot of damage, and finally one kill for the Leomord. Obsidia also joins in, but that beautiful 2-man knockout coming in once again. But Leomord is still saved. The spell vamp is into his hands, and finally another shutdown as Beatrix grabs onto another kill. 2 for a 1.
Yep, and with that, I guess Team Quantum Eclipse could be having the advantage this time when it comes out onto the mid game. They have got some of the items, so like I said, the overextension could be the one thing that could punish them. And at the same time, they might be going out for the third turtle. So eventually, Almost Pros, they don't have the lead as of far. They do have the lead, but I believe this can be contested once again. They just go in, the Sora comes in all along, gets the kill onto Mary Biscuit, but Suguru falls onto the back as well. It will be the turtle taken down from the side of Team Quantum Eclipse this time. A beautiful steal from the Leo mode, but still that won't be enough for him to escape. The taunt comes up from the Beleric, and it will be a fall off. 2-for-1 trade. Quantum Eclipse got the turtle, but still the lead goes back for the side of Team Almost Pros.
Yeah, I think, that Beleric, just look at him. The way he is always onto the back lines. And he knows that, keeping away the Zushin, because she is one of the major damage potential into the hands of Team Quantum Eclipse. So he's just sticking around her, taunting her, not letting her join those team fights. And even if Sora, he is pretty good when it comes to trade-offs towards the back line, but then the ultimate causes the Belric, I would say, and then he just buys enough time for the rest of the team, for the Yuzhong to follow up, for the Akai to follow up, but once again the heavy spin connecting 2 people onto the backline, and look at the Obsidia's ult grabbing onto Suguru, double kill for him, and with this a 2-man knockup coming in from the Grog, and behind the scenes Rajwal trying to take down the Obsidia, but she just dashes away, and with this Bellion falls, Razor also falls, has one flicker, and the last hit coming in from the Sora onto the Obsidia, and with this 2-member going after the Belric can just heal up pretty easily for now. Eve is safe, but a 2-for-2 exchange. This is pretty good team fight, I would say, especially the Sora doing a pretty great job when it comes to marking down the squishies, marking down the Obsidia as he should. And with this, once again, I do see some lag. Okay, I do see the Yuzhong pretty laggy. I don't know. But with this, I think one turret will be falling. The first turret on the side of Team Quantum Eclipse. They are kind of making progress small by small. Belric once again in between four people. Leomord with his ultimate tries to take down the Yuzhong. No, the Eve gets just uses up the flicker just to move away, but with this the ultimate beacon coming in from the Zushin grabs that kill onto the mage. And with this Belric also gets taken down. I think that was way too much over engagement because you really want your Akai to follow up or Yuzhong to follow up. Eve too a bit out of position. And with this they have back into the lead. The first Lord of the game, pretty easy in the hands of Team Quantum Eclipse.
Yeah, it should be uncontested, but at the same time, they don't have the rate for the contention. Yuzhong does has the Black Dragon form, but it would be better for the side of Team Almost Pros to just hold it down at least for now. They do have the neutral objective advantage, and once again, Obsidia Razor will be trying to prioritize out another tier tower that will just be falling, and she will be able to retreat quite on time, right? Yeah, and there you go. The Grok won't be able to make it on time, but still, the Lord will be spawning from the mid. I think this is quite defendable unless and until they lose out any of the members or team almost lose. They try to contest out for a fight. And I think Quantum Eclipse as well, they can be going out for another team fight, but it will depend upon how well they are able to capitalize onto it.
Definitely, even though that one mistake costing them the life of Eve. Okay, the guy goes in for engage once again. The Zushin with the Crimson Beacon. With the damage coming up, but ult from the Grog, the heavy charge does not really connect onto anyone. The Obsidian's ultimate also goes to waste. The ultimate, the Crimson Beacon also being used up. A lot of ultimates being baited out there without much of a meaning to that team fight. With this, the next lot will be coming up pretty soon. Let's see which team grabs onto it. But for now, the map control is in the hands of Team Quantum Eclipse. But once again, the Leomord goes in for the kill behind the scene. And Obsidian tries to just dash it away. Does not have the flicker. The ultimate coming in from the Belric also tries to taunt them away, trying to save them, mark them. But look at the damage coming in from the Leomord. Way too much farmed as of for now. And with this, Akai also getting it is pushed back as two members are already fallen. Uses up the heavy spin just to disengage from the team fight. And look at the Beatrix, a lot of damage coming in from the bombardment. But with this, I was just gonna say who will get the next lot. I think it is still in the grab of Team Quantum for now.
Yeah, and just like that, they will be able to equalize with the goal lead as well as I think onto the neutral objectives. They did got the first lot. They did had one of the turtles as well, but at the same time, I guess it was the mid game scaling that gave them the major of the advantage. So unless and until they don't lose out any of the members further on, I believe they will be able to at least get more trades onto it. So Quantum Eclipse, they still have quite of an advantage onto there. And they most probably should be waiting out for a lot instead of going out for another disengagement or let's say an over engage from either of the sides. And I guess both of the teams will be following up onto it.
Well, yeah, and I would say, Belric is a tank who is kind of sustainable because he just heals up. And with that, we can already see that, in the bot lane, it is 5 versus 4. Obsidia locks onto her ult onto the Sora. Sora just managed to move away, but the ultimate has been used up. The wall coming in from the Grog just to safeguard Prajwal for now. And with this, I was saying, the tank as well as the Eve, the mage and the tank Belric, they are moving together. But I think that's what, is kind of a negative point for them because Belric just stays way too front, providing the vision. And if Eve is just trying to follow up so close, she's getting caught off guard. And you wouldn't really want your mage to get taken down right before those team fights, right?
I completely agree. And before the Lord, if they lose out most of their ultimates, then that could be quite problematic as well. This time, Almost Pros will be the one trying to contest it out first. But before that, there might be the engage. Heavy spin comes up. There's the Crimson Beagle as well. Tectonic charge. And there will be the ultimates coming up. But it will be Suguru who will be able to take the Lord with the Nibiru's passion. He just goes back. The Black Dragon comes up, trying to chase down the Beatrix. But at the same time, onto the backline, Velian is the one able to get Suguru down. Somehow, the Akai just goes out for the trades. But it will be a shutdown onto Prajwal. He was able to mark onto the back line. He was able to do the job, but some way around it is Team Quantum Eclipse who will be losing 4 of the members just for the treat for the Lord, and maybe they might be losing out to their inhibitor towers as well. It's only the Grok left for the defense. They will be up onto the next few seconds, but it's only the inhibitor that will be going down. But just for the trade for the Lord, maybe if the Lord was there, then maybe the consequences would have been even more worse. Thankfully, they got it, and they will be able to get some time at least for their side.
Well, yep, they were kind of in a good, but that team just won it over. Even if they didn't get the Lord, that's how it just shows that you really don't need the Lord to get back into the game. And this is what this stream fight just showed for now. Then the bot lane is just trying to clear up. And with this, the footing which was in the hands of Team Quantum Eclipse suddenly is kind of balanced. I would say the map control is almost kind of equal from both the sides. And the gold is also kind of almost the same, not much out there. But Fela gets targeted, gets stun locked down by the Belleric, and gets taken down by Razor. That was a very bad thing to do. You really want the Grok to check the bushes, not the Leo mod. And with this, a Petrify combo coming in right onto Prajwal. But he is kind of a bit tanky. Yuzhong just falling up behind, trying to proc his passive, but wouldn't be able to take down the Sora. But Leomord, that was a fatal mistake.
Definitely, and even if there is some cooldown timers for the Lord is still yet to arrive, and there is 75 more seconds. But at the same time, losing one of your junglers, especially when they could have been at least secure the towers, is not a good sign for the side of Team Almost Pros. So Almost Pros, they try to go in once again. There's a tectonic charge connecting onto two people. Heavy spin comes up for the disengage, and maybe Quantum Eclipse might not try to overcome it. That will be the cloud from the Sora. Two people connect, but sadly there is no follow up for the side of Team Quantum Eclipse, and Prajwal will just be losing his life. Black Dragon form comes up. The Jushin is all alone by her. Obsidia also uses the ult as well. That will be a takedown from Leo onto the Jushin. So two of the members will just be lost. That was actually a really good flicker as well as the cloud combination from the Sora. But at the same time, if there was a follow up and they were onto the position to take a fight, then that would have been more decisive. But getting, imagine trying to initiate and not getting a follow up from the side of your team. That would actually be one of the things you would try to avoid, especially when it comes out on winning onto the team fights.
And I think this is one of the big issues with Sora, especially in solo queue. You go behind, give a pretty good set, but they don't really see if the team is able to follow up, right? The mage couldn't follow up, their jungler was dead, the ultimate from the Grok had already been baited out, right? Then why even go and start and initiate? There's no one to follow up, so I think a bit of a lack of communication coming from the side of Team Quantum Eclipse. They're just dying one by one all solo. But with this, the next Lord is already up. But the melt coming in from Obsidia on a Trinity build is shredding. So yeah, with
Almost
this, the
Pros.
ultimate gets longed out once again, along with the heavy spin. He just gets sandwiched between so much crowd control coming up right there. Sushin just using up the Crimson Beacon just to move zone away the dragon. But with this, the Beatrix just uses up the wind. But meanwhile, a lot of damage onto Prajwal, and Sisha just melts him down at this point. And with this, Eve's ult is also providing a lot of utility. But Suguru's damage is way too much, and Razor just takes the front load of it. Just gets sniped down. And with this, the Zushin really doesn't want to let the enemy go. It is a Belric after all. He is just recalling. He knows he will just heal up.
Yeah, the Crimson Beacon being used out to disengage against the enemy, that is quite okay. But at the same time, they have lost out Razor. And if Razor was present onto the fights, and maybe two or at least most of the inhibitor towers would have been taken down, and losing your marksman, especially when you got onto the crucial lord, could be quite questionable. But at the same time, I believe at least they will be able to get one or two inhibitor towers. The lane sync is not actually up to the point. The Beatrix will be using the ultimate just to clear it out, or maybe they might be trying to go out for another engage as well. Neomod uses the Phantom Steed, and they will just be clearing out the Lord. The inhibitor will be taken down at least, but that Lord could have been, more utilizable if you had the and if your lane syncing was up to the point.
Well, yeah, definitely. I think this is the issue with both the teams. If they get one or two kills, they're getting way too much excited. I would say, just especially the marksman really needs to maintain her positioning. I understand that Obsidia is a really good marksman, but look at the damage coming in. And with this, the Guru gets locked down by the Obsidia, gets taken down. That was a very bad thing to do. And with this, he providing some utility. The wave spin. Look at the damage coming in. The shred coming in from Razor at this point takes down Prajwal. Okay, the Queen's Wing getting blocked right up there, and this is it. The 360, the 180 gets Razor taken down, but with this, really doesn't matter because it is a 3-for-1 trade, and Team Almost Pros kind of on the front lead once again. Zushin is there to defend, Grok is there, but how much can you do, right?
Yeah, and I guess if the Obsidia wouldn't have been using the Wind of Nature earlier on, then maybe she could have been getting a triple as well as surviving from the Sora. But that was quite unfortunate. But at the same time, Rintara will be trying to pull up with the defense, has the Tectonic Charge, but gets taunted onto the way, uses the Tectonic Charge to escape it out. Beatrix uses the Nibiru's Passion once again, tries to go in, but there's a Black Dragon form from the Yuzhong coming up, trying to engage, or maybe they will just be retreating out for now. they still have one inhibitor tower to take down, and at the same time Leomord will not be using the Phantom Steed and completely committing, at least for now. Quantum Eclipse, they are onto quite of a losing deficit when it comes out onto having less towers, and it's only the inhibitor remaining. So if they pull up a clutch steal in here, they could still stand a chance. But at the same time, I think most probably this should be an uncontested one because they still have the minions to clear, and there is no proper vision from their side. So commitment is
The,
looking pretty tough, but at the same time this is the evolved lord that is coming up, and this is going to be having a lot of HP compared to the previous two lords. The lord just goes down, getting uncontested once again. The taunt comes up from the Belirik, petrify, and everything being used out onto the Jushin. They just go in, ultimates gets traded, but maybe team almost pros tries to commit it out once again. They lost Zebek onto the Crimson Beacon could have been, a crucial factor for at least buying some time for their side. But what is going to be happening with four members only remaining this time?
well, yeah, definitely. This might even be the final march. They do have the Beatrix, but just look at the zone coming in from the Yuzhong, the knockup coming up, as well as the Akai going in for a lot of damage, and Yi with the utility, and Grok just gets shredded down out there. A lot of damage coming in, even from the Wind of Nature being procced out there, and Melian goes down by the Beatrix, but the flicker coming in from right behind the scene. Belric trying to just taunt down onto the Beatrix, the only one remaining. But how can a solo marksman defend an onslaught of 5 people? And with this, I would say pretty good victory coming in from the side of Team Bros. They really played pro, I would say.
Definitely. I think the overextensions, as well as, let's say, the Obsidia had the major damage for the side. She was the major damage dealer, had the Sky Piercer, as well as had enough stack 16 kills onto her name. But it will be Zenk actually who will be getting the MVP with the Belirik, of course. I think Belric onto this patch is quite dominant, especially if you are going up against marksmen like Beatrix, or maybe attack speed dependent marksmen. Especially when the Beatrix uses the Nibiru, if she gets targeted out by the Belric, then it could be quite problematic. And once he gets the blade armor, it could be quite of a counter pick. So I believe the draft was pretty much balanced from both of the side, but it was onto the execution as well as the initiations, because the Sora tries to go in, uses the cloud form as well as the flicker. It connects onto 2 or 3 people, but sadly there is no follow up. So the synergy is one of the main things that maybe Team Quantum Eclipse will try to work on more. And I guess with that, we will be taking a short break and we'll be coming back with another match that will be happening really soon. So till then, stay tuned.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear gamers. We are back again, and as we are waiting for game number two, and we are back with a short break as well. So again, I welcome you back to our Mobile Legends Warm-Up Clash series. This is going to the week 26, and this is going to be Scrims number 18. And as for now, we will straight. We'll be going towards the drafting phase, and my name is Solski. I will be your caster for this game number two of the evening, and joining by my side is none other than the goat. Hello, Jebby. How are you?
Gonna be under pressure with that, but hey, that was a very nice introduction we get for Soul. But now when we talked about the draft, this is what I'm always most excited about in these scrims as well, because our ARX Esports, they have the first pick, and Will of D, interesting choice of name, they have the second pick. So
Now
they
you lead
bent
the
away
way
the
to the
glue, and the
next
Tushin is
adventure.
already gone as well. Sora on top of that. So I think they're just trying to do some sort of stuff where they ban away the heroes that are in the meta, or they just want to ban out the heroes that might be affecting their combination.
Well, absolutely. And as you mentioned, this is going to be the draft. And, Devi, I think you are much of a, goat when it comes to the drafting phase. But they're
Now
straight
you
away going
lead
for
the
the
way to
glue
the
and the
next
Zushin ban
adventure.
and a Sora ban as well as we were
Different
seeing before.
perspectives
And also,
expose the same
I
truth.
would think that okay, they banned the Marshall. I gotta ask you about the new patch because with this new patch, there's a lot of changes into the jungle and the EXP and the gold. I mean, whole of the scenario has been changed. Like in the mid lane earlier, it was this, Zushin is going to be prior pick. Right now, I think it's kind of dicey. People not opt for Zushin because now she's, her weakness shows into the game after the nerf. But we are seeing a Bakshinov as well. Do you think that's going to be the Atlas first pick or a Pakito?
Oh yeah, Paquito is definitely some of the biggest change up that I wanted to do. I wanted to see here. It's like coming back into the meta, and with the utility ban from the side of Will of D, it can actually be a first pick. At last, I don't recommend it to go for the first pick because it can be very good, but then it's also very easily counterable when you are picking into the first phase, which also happened for other teams as well. So, oh, they really wanted to go for the Claude instead, huh? Okay, ARX, usually in these current packs, you want to prioritize onto the marksmen because there are so little marksmen that are in the meta. So I
Yep.
understand, but Will of the they can pick out the Paquito, no?
Well, absolutely should have gone for the Paquito, and you mentioned it right. There is so much limited option for the marksmen, and now the marksman card has been shown by Team ARX Esports. So Will of D will not waste any of their time and straight away will lock onto the Zaytian and the Yuzhong. Both of them, I don't think so is, should is a priority picks. But you know what? I think they are going for comfort over in the metas. But still, a lot of picks are open. I think if there is going to be a Fredrin plus, uh, or even a Kai Atlas combination with this Claude, it is going to be wreaking havoc for the side of Team Will of D. So I would like to see both of these picks coming from ARX Esport into this, the last pick of the first picking phase.
I don't know, maybe they are not really comfortable with Paquito here, but Will of D they wanted to go for the Yuzong instead, which is very quite an early hero to pick it up because Yuzong is already becoming very situational. But maybe if it is a comfort hero, right, the
Oh,
combination will come true. But Farsa, oh well, Farsa and the Guinevere combination together, so there is a very weird interaction with the Yuzong and the Farsa because you would usually think that maybe the Farsa will get countered into the team fights when the Yuzong can come through with the Petrify. Yes, it is. But into the early phases of the game, when the Yuzong doesn't have the level 4, the Farsa really does well against on him too. So I think they might eventually try to have that rotation out first so that they will be able to have a good lead into the XP lane.
well, absolutely. And for the last pick of the first picking phase from the side of Will of D, have the option to go that into the roaming phase or into the jungling phase. You can go either the Fred Drain or you can opt out for maybe a marksman because they have shown their marksman dish. Okay, they are going for Nolan. Quite, I
Now
would say,
Kai enters the
going
scene.
for unorthodox picks to be honest. But here's the Kai ban, which I was thinking that they might well,
Oh,
they might pick the Kai, but they have banned it. Now I think I will see, I should see Atlas ban, an Atlas ban, please just ban out the Atlas because it is going to be very annoying to face Atlas plus Guneva together.
Ben will be definitely beautiful here. Atlas Guinevere, right? That is the dream plan for you when you are going for that combination here. So I think for ARX also, they are yet to pick up the rumor, so it's definitely gonna be one of a interesting band that they could go for here. I can't see
Yeah,
man.
here
Oh,
it is
there we go.
ban.
Nolan?
A
They
punch
pick
to
up
Yes,
the
the
Nolan?
punch.
Oh,
yes. I got the gist of it. He has his dashes to dash away from that spatial migration combination, but it just you have to play very very mindfully, your Nolan, because one time one mistake and you get picked off easily by that spatial migration combination, because they have the burst also with that Farsa. So combination wise, I think ARX Esports is good, but you know what? To disrupt the team
Yeah.
fight, they have that this global
Mm-hmm.
ult of that Zaytian. So you need to be mindful
Mm-hmm.
of the Zaytian as well. But there's a Yuzhong, as you said, that into the early part, Yuzhong quite
Yep.
struggles for against that Farsa, but into the mid to late, I think Yuzhong can
Mm-hmm.
do pretty much fine.
Fight.
But again,
Yeah.
Fight to the
Guinevere plays a
ultimate
very very big
answer.
role into this matchup, because you need
Mm.
a constant stun for Farsa to hit all those four feather airstrike bombs. So
Mm.
I think that will be the very good, very much part for that Guinevere to do that. But for the
Yeah.
first pick and the second picking phase, that will be the Hilda.
When you see a Yuzhong, it usually comes down to your thoughts that maybe they would want to go for the another tanky frontliner where they will go for the combination together with the Yuzhong, but they are going for the Hilda instead, so the kill pressure is actually going to be very high. And I'm kind of hoping that it was definitely going
Oh,
to be something that comes as a
oh.
distractor or a deny. But now we see the Minotaur is going to be the introduction. Oh, I don't mind the Minotaur here though, do you?
Well, absolutely not. It's a very good disengager in my opinion, because you just need that minnow and fury to knock up any of the people that is into your range. Especially this Hilda. Hilda will be getting locked down in this match a lot, because you have the
Yeah.
Phobius, you have that Guinevere. If Hilda doesn't build the necessary items, I think she's getting bursted down easily into the early parts. And there is Beatrix, quite I would say not a good matchup against a Claude, and plus short on range as well. Need that malefic gun into the early parts of the game. So far, so forth. But you know what? This Fury of the Phoenix is can be the game changer for the side of Team Bill of Day, because it can either enable Nolan to go into the back line and do his do his things, but or anything can happen. But still, ARX Esports good front to back compare.
Oh yeah, they are having that. They also have a very good laning into the gold lane as well, but the Beatrix with the introduction without any kind of combination is gonna be a bit tough because Beatrix usually cannot really bring out the purifier, right? So it's definitely gonna be a very very tough lane for her as well. Because when the Guinevere have the successful ganked upon onto her, that will definitely be not in favor for her as well. Because obviously the Cloud have a very much greater time against the Beatrix as well, and they always also have a Farsa, which is very good into the range and can outrange the Beatrix anytime.
Well, absolutely. And as we speak, Debbie, we are entering into the London Dawn. This will be the game number 2 of the evening, guys, between Team ARX Esports versus Team Will of the. And I don't know about which will is this, but I think it's a very strong and hard will. So just see how both of these teams will play it out. For jungling part, I think we have been seeing quite new jungling rotation. They start with the cornermost jungle area, and then proceeds towards the blue buff. Okay, spatial migration onto that buff. Okay, that was quite unusual. I thought she will
Yeah.
go for that Hilda, but never mind. I think focusing onto the level 4 mark is just the utmost priority for this ARX Esports jungler. Meanwhile, Nolan onto that lethal wanderer. This map, I suppose it's a dangerous grass. If I'm not wrong, no, it's not a dangerous grass. It's a expanding river map. So it will
Oh
be good
yeah, it is.
for it will support this Phobius. It will go towards the turtle lane so fast.
Yeah, that's why the Phobius is usually a very good pick into the level 4 of the game. Before the level 3 is definitely gonna have to hold the lane a little bit faster. But with the distraction coming through from the Hilda, right? Dread Phoenix will definitely be able to get out a lot of vision, but a bit of help onto the gold lane side, which I don't really recommend because you're gonna be stealing away the goal of your gold laner, man.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we all know that how annoying it is when you steal the. Obviously being a god laner myself, I am pretty much annoying when team comes and I'm just coming to help, but they instead okay, there's a spatial migration combination onto the top lane. That's a good enabler, and that's how my guys you take the first blood.
Yeah, that was a fast first spot here, but onto the top lane side as well. They are trying to do something really out of a good gank, but the turtle is already up with the Guinevere, is trying to set first. No one trying to go for a flank. Will he do it though?
Well, I suppose not, because he just quite too in. Okay, he just got that turtle and will be surviving that, and there's the Fury of the Phoenix as well, just to disengage that Nolan. Not letting Nolan die. So I would say that's a very good turtle steal coming from the side of Team Beloved.
But a bit of rotation into the mid lane side as well. A force coming through from the Hilda too. But this is gonna be the aggression that Will of D were trying to play for, right? With the Hilda coming on top of that, and they are trying to go for the combination with the Nolan as well. So they're waiting on it just a little bit. But on to the other hand, it's definitely gonna be a bit tough if they don't really have a bot lane fast rotation. But that is gonna be the heal coming through from the Minotaur, right? You cannot really gang upon onto him because whenever there is a heal, he's definitely gonna be able to survive.
Well, absolutely. And right now, Kurosaki will be getting his level 4 mark. Hilda is already level 4, giving good vision onto the jungle area, but Nolan using fractures onto that Minotaur. I think Minotaur is quite too, I would say, if he over engages, I think it's GG's for Minotaur because he's not too tanky right now, but he needs his itemization that, last couple of his fracture again might get the his free. Okay, that's quite too low. Featherweight strike, and again Hilda just to overextend it and will pay the price of it. There is a there is a facial migration combination onto that. Nolan will be getting his hands onto that Farsa. And meanwhile, I think that's a sniper kill from that Beatrix.
That was a fast kill onto the bottom lane side as well. Kurosaki not really having the best time of his life, but I think the rotator coming through for the side of ARX is a little bit weird because they haven't trying to babysit a Cloud who doesn't really need the babysitting. You really want to play against the Yuzang first and try to give your forwards a good lane so that he will be able to rotate out to the map, and then you can play around him into the first few minutes. And then after that, try to process the turtle first. Try to take it, but mid lane.
Oh, that's a very grave mistake, and that's what I was thinking about. Spatial migration onto the Hilda. Little overextension, and you will pay the price for it. And we just saw what happened to that Hilda. There is a good map awareness from the side of team ARX Esports. There is a Phobius as well, just to disengage that Nolan quite to in will have to fall back for now. There's a Black Dragon form as well, so we'll try to go in. There is a Fury of the Phoenix, very good. Fury of the Phoenix, that's a good combo coming in from the side of Will of D. There's a fracture onto that Phobius. He will be getting his demonic force as well, but I don't think so he will be able to survive. Minnow and Fury quite too low right there. And I think Minotaur is quite too late to the party. He will have to fall back for now. And I think Nolan will try to go in, but that's a grave mistake. He will be getting too low. And there's a blazing duet, but that's a very good knocker from that Yuzhong, disabling that blazing duet. And that Claude will pay the price for it.
Yeah, that was definitely beautiful coming through from the side of the Wheel of D. ARX, usually this is why I recommend for teams to not really go for the fights when you get the neutral objective already. And ARX are actually doing the opposite. And when they are trying to go for the fights, there's definitely going to be a comeback, a jump miss.
Very bad. Okay, that's very bad for that Guinevere because she will be getting down from that high range poke coming in from that ZTN. And again, Team Will of D is making a slight not slight, a very good comeback into the game. That's a fracture, shut down to that Farsa, and the sniper will be hitting the Kurosaki. And for now, 4-6 score line, and Team Will of D is getting a hold onto this game.
Yeah, they are holding a hold. They are taking a hold of this game, and then they will be able to put it into a good position as well because now they are actually into the lead. They have a very good goal onto their side, and Will of they have a Beatrix, right, which we did not really like into the first few minutes of the game where the laning phase is definitely not going to be the best. But here, wait.
There is the Phoenix. There is the Minnow and Fury, but not in a follow-up. What the heck, Minotaur? And he just went in. He will be eating that fracture from the Nolan. And there will be no casualties so far. Meanwhile, I think, as you mentioned, this Beatrix is being... We were a little bit skeptical, but now she has gotten the farm. I think she's being a threat towards the side of Team ARX Esports.
Yeah, once he got the farm and he's so free onto the way that he's going to be going for the targeting, it's definitely going to be becoming a very good nuisance for their side of the Wheel of D here. With the turtle coming through, look at the damage.
Okay, Phobius will have to fall back, but not enough resources to fall back. He didn't even use Slicker. He will go for the demonic force. There's a petrify combination. Harmon could quite too low. Will be surviving in the slither of HP. And he will be falling back. Two members quite too low, and they will go for the neutral objectives right now. Hilda will be getting his benefits of that, the passive. And there's no one to contest the turtle. Free turtle towards the side of Team Will of D. And they are being so systematic about their pushes and about their team fights. Beautiful team fights done by Team Will of D right here.
Beautiful man. I would say being able to survive with 1 HP is definitely gonna be a close call. Yeah, only one. If it is one, I would understand, but two of them were able to survive that onslaught. So everything is going well for the side of Will of D. The kills counts are not too much, right? 4 to 8 is the score, but I think the kills were coming through from mostly from Mingo Flamingo because he has been already getting the farm up. Look at the bill onto the Nolan as well. He's not the one with the damage, but then he's the one with the neutral objective. So that's definitely gonna be fine. Okay.
There is a beauty of Phoenix as well, just trying to survive that huge jump, but he will fail to do so. Meanwhile, the Mino quite too in. He doesn't have the flicker as well. There is a good demonic force from that Gogeta. Again, he is also quite too in. Will be forcing out him, and he will be getting kill. He will be getting the kill to that Nolan. And again, Nolan is stacking on that Spice Pierce. That's not a very good, I would say, humble choice for the side of Team AR Esports. Again, Nolan is quite stacked up onto that Sky Pierce, and he can melt anyone right now. Might look out for the kill onto that Farsa, but again, Nolan will fall back. Nolan is actually, providing a lot of dividends in my opinion, like in this match. Surely there was a spatial migration kill onto the top lane, but that was a very good recovery from the side of Team Will of the.
Recovery and almost all again, and a perfect lane management coming through for them as well because they were able to take out the inhibitors, not the inhibitors, the outer turrets. That is definitely going to be important, and one of the most important turret is definitely going to be the mid lane side as well, and they are able to do it so well, even though despite the fact that ARX have a very good clearance, they aren't able to do so. But look at that.
There will be a stun onto the Hilda, but I think she will be surviving fine. But she used that to revitalize, so the spatial migration combination can look out for that Hilda, because I think that will be a great mistake for both of them. But there is a Fury of the Phoenix quite too early, I suppose. Minnow and Fury, and there is a stun from the Phobius going for the Yuzhong Minal fracture, but I think that's not a very good target. That okay, no, Nolan getting the kill. Never mind, make a kill towards that Beatrix. And that's a very good sniper. That's a very good sniping coming in from the Beatrix right there.
You usually do not expect a Beatrix that can play into the game to go for the what is that? The sniper, right? But they are actually trying to do so well here, and they are actually working now because, like you said, a very good sniper coming through from Flamingo. Beautiful. And now they will be able to get out the Lord as well. This is definitely going to be one of the cases where they have the good lead and the free turtle. Definitely nothing ARX can do about it because, yeah, they do have a better clearance, right? But this Lord will not be their end, so they still have time. But looking at the emblem so far, not a Trinity yet for the Clone. Meanwhile, for the Beatrix, he already gotten the BOD as well as the Malefic Gun, which is one of the most important choice of item for a Beatrix, and he's already on 9, which we were never expecting it to come through here.
She's actually a lot ahead in farm in terms of farm. She's actually, I would say, 3k ahead than Claude. So that's approximately a despair in my opinion. Not in my opinion, but it's actually a despair. You get 3k. If you have the 3k farm lead, you can actually buy a despair and you can be one item ahead than your opponent marksman. But for now, the Lord is marching from the bottom lane side. Meanwhile, Mino just giving out the vision. And again, as I said, this Fury of the Phoenix will be a great enabler for that Nolan as well as the Beatrix. So I think there is one combination if the Beatrix times out her Nibiru's ultimate with that Fury of the Phoenix. But you know what? Let's just see how it happens. There is okay, never mind. That's a great mistake for that. Okay, there's a sniper, misses out. This is the first time I'm seeing him miss out a sniper, and I think Duck will be surviving for now. Will be getting the power of fineness. I suppose he survived. There's a Fury of the Phoenix as well onto the backline. There is a Farsa who is getting zoned out from that Yuzhong. Meanwhile, you can see blazing to it from the sky. There's a Feather of Havens and Harman quite too low. There's a fracture as well onto that Minotaur, but it's not a very good choice. Again, Phobius is getting caught off guard really, really bad.
Yeah, Phobius, man, that was actually a very good entrance from him. But when your teammates are down, I don't think it's very recommended to go in like that. And there's also a lot of damage coming from the side of Will of the already. Mingo Flamingo so raids onto the goal, onto the farm, and he's that's down, and 4 kills already on top of that. And he has been very perfect with the sniper. Like 80% of the shots have been fired here onto the right target too. So I think it's definitely going to be a very, very tricky situation for the side of ARX already, because they lost out every of their outer turrets. The base turrets are still standing, but when the side of Will of the get this Lord, they might eventually be able to take at least 2 of the inhibitors, and that can definitely be a start of them winning the game.
I'm loving this Beatrix. She's enjoying her sniper, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just there.
I was out of words for that. When the parts was getting marked down because I was looking for that Beatrix, what she was doing. Meanwhile, we can see again getting caught off guard. Why she's going again in duck? I mean, he is just going in with the spatial migration. Not he's not seeing his teammates that they are not in position to give him the follow up that he needs with the spatial migration combination. But it's a fracture from the Nolan to that Parsa. Parsa will have to go back with that bird. For now, I think Team Will of they need to just wait out for the Lord, and I think they might put an end to this game.
Yeah, this is what they are actually waiting for. They don't really have to rush, and they know it still, because looking at the goal so far, look at the goal lead. They have every goal lead that they need, and the mid laner also have more goal in comparison to ARX's Claude. And I don't think, with Kyle, without the Trinity, they will be able to even clear it up, because that is already so tough. And when we talk about the Minotaur, even though it's as good in the healing, it needs a lead team and a good mana to come through on time, and they haven't been able to do anything about that. No combination whatsoever, and that might actually bite them in the back, because this time around, Will of D are very, very ready to take at least 3 of their inhibitors and go to the match.
Well, absolutely, but the Lord is marching from the mid lane, and there, so the Lord will be getting his strike onto the mid lane base. Alright. Meanwhile, that sniper from the Beatrix trying to just poke down his spatial migrating combination, tries to get his hands onto the Nolan, but fails to do so. There's a featherweight strike. Okay, Yuzhang going in with a 55 combination. Fury of the Phoenix as well. 4-man stun from the Minotaur. He will be getting killed and shut down to that Nolan, placing 2-8. Herman quite too low, but he's surviving. He's surviving good, my man. Herman. He will be getting down from that Lord, and I think that will be a good thing. But there is the Gogeta who's quite too low. Will have to flicker out on the hands of the Beatrix. Now I think Team ARS Esports, both of the team got the 2-2 trade-off from each of them. But meanwhile, they don't have the mid lane base start left for the side of Team ARS Esports.
But that was a beautiful, good setup coming through from the side of ARX, but they Will of D, they overstayed their welcome just a little bit there. Herman trying to go in one, it was actually very unnecessary for him to do so, but I think it's definitely going to be acceptable here because they are actually onto the lead. And still, Mingo Flamingo is still the one standing alive, so it's definitely an okay performance for their side here. But it's the best case scenario for ARX actually, because they lose out onto their mid lane inhibitor rather than the side lane, so this will be easier to manage than the other lanes.
Yep, absolutely. The opposite lane pressure will not be there for the Lord, but you know what? I just saw that Flamingo got his win chance, so I think Lord with the Blazing Duets will not be having a very good chance to kill off that Flamingo. And I haven't seen this Phobius being an enabler into any team fights. I need that Phobius to be the primary engage with his, the flicker play that he can do, so that he can catch Team Will of these members off guard, because that flicker stun is a very good combination to catch that Nolan or that Flamingo, and the featherweight strike will seal the day and give enough time to burst down that either the Beatrix or that Nolan. The Farsa needs a little bit of time before that Yuzhong jumps onto her. So should be the game plan for a side of Team ARX Esports, but I don't think so. They are following into the right path, and they're not doing well with the draft. I think they should bring out the full efficiency for their drafts, because their win condition is that only.
Yep, that was their win condition. And usually this is also one of the reasons that we cannot see a Phobius being played into any hands, right? Because it's not really the best when they are not able to play it the way it's supposed to be played. And that's actually how ARX are struggling with. But with the Lord being taken down, I don't think ARX will be able to defend this one.
Well, absolutely, and the Lord is coming from the mid lane side. It's still not that freakishly level 3 Lord, the freakishly evolved Lord, but you know what? It's still after the 12-minute mark Lord. So I still think that it will be quite too difficult for the side of Team ARX Esports to defend this. There is a slight poke coming in from the side of Team D. There is the Minotaur. He has the flicker. Might go in for the flicker play. That's a good use. Zhang trying to zone up a Pedro. Fury of Phoenix, and there's a double kill again. That's a GT. There's a fish migration combination, but he's getting caught off guard from the Hilda. The base is quite open, and I mean, Team Will of the winning this game with the sheer domination, in my opinion.
Yeah, there was actually a sheer domination if we talk about it, because everything, even if we talk about the draft, ARX were the one actually having a better draft just because of the Claude. But then they weren't able to handle with the Claude. They cannot play it with a Claude or even with a full VS on top of that, and that actually bite them a lot into the early phases of the game. And Will of D were knowing exactly what they were doing. They know that they were winning into the XP lane side, so they were focusing a bit too much onto the XP lane. And now, when they were able to get all of those objectives and then have a very good lead onto them, they are forcing themselves to win that fight as well, and again and again. I think the MVP for that should have been Mingo Flamingo, but everyone from the side of Will of D did so well.
I mean, that did you see the last team fight? Couldn't even grasp, but like what
Yep.
happened, because they were just got bursted down too fast. You just saw, this Yuzhong going in with a petrify combination. Fury of the Phoenix follows up. Nibiru's ultimate follows up, and just by look of that, four people just vanished away from the side of team AR Esports. And the only one that was left
Mm-hmm.
was just not Guinevere. She couldn't do anything because obviously you can't do anything against five people that are stacked up against you. Still, she tried to do that spatial migration combination, and but she
Mm-hmm.
miserably failed. So that's it for this game number two, guys, because this will be the GGs for the side of Team AR Esports. But as you said, Flamingo could have been the MVP for this game, but you know what? The Zaytin really played well also. So I guess Debbie, this was for the game number two. As game number two for
Yep.
now, we will see you guys at the game number three. Before we go, please like, share, subscribe to the stream, and follow us onto our all social media panels. You will get the link for that into our description box. So just do a little effort for us, and please do follow us so that you can get recent updates from our Algambo esports, so that you can be part of the next scrims. See you after a short break. Well. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with a short break, and we will be continuing to our today's matches. And this is going to be the match number three of the evening. I Solski will be a caster again, and joining by my side will be the Peachy. We will be shortly going into the drafting phase real soon. And before that, I have a very small request. Please like, share, subscribe to the stream, and also follow us onto our social media panels. That is going to be the Instagram, Discord, so that you can get your daily updates of our, beautiful scrims that we hold every week. So that you can be the part of the, this scrims, and we want you guys to come and play scrims in this beautiful matchup because who knows, you might be the next big dogs into this ML community. So again, we will be moving on to the drafting phase. Velocity Esports versus Team Elite Esports. Velocity Esports on the left will be
Different
banning out
perspectives
the Freya,
expose the same
and
truth.
Elite Esports. Let's just see what are they are gonna ban. I'm thinking they're gonna ban Marcel. Yep, obviously. And now Yellow Velocity Esports banned out the Freya first pick. I'm still thinking
Okay.
what they should ban. All right, Peachy, what do
That's
you think? What they should ban?
yep. It's actually a good buying so far, but at the same time, Freya, I feel like she has fallen out of meta. So I kind of want to see how it kind of fits. Maybe in the future games, EXP or maybe a gold laner would pop up, but let's move forward. Blue, EXP or the roam blue, very interesting pick. I would love that to see, but unfortunately, not this game.
Well, absolutely. And now they have banned out that Freya and the Glue and the Paquito and the Marcel. Last ban, it will be the Yuzhong. I think this is a target ban and Team Elite Esports. What they should ban here? I'm still thinking.
A punch for a
Okay, they're
punch.
banning out the Paquito right now, and now I think the last ban will be the Yuzhong that we saw. And the last ban, what should we ban here?
Possibly a mage. We still haven't seen any, emphasis on the mage. There you go. It's going to be a Zushin. Was expecting something like a Zacian or probably even the Eve. Now
And
again, Baxia being popular. We'll have to see if it's picked off or not.
first pick, I suppose they will go for. I mean, Phoebus is open. EXP first pick or a Marksman first pick. Okay, there you go. There's a Phoebus, and the Elite Esports might go for the what they should go for. I think the Bakshi is open. The Fredrin is open. Could trade off each of those heroes, and for the first pick, marksman wise, I think Lord will be the good pick here on the side of Elite Esports, or maybe some other things. What do you like? What do you think?
Okay, phobias being open. But again, when you pick up a first pick Baksha, there always is a threat of the Balman coming in as a counter, or even so as to the Fredrin being the counter as well. So the teams are not proceeding with the assassins or even the junglers as of now. Loving the pick of an Alice, that too against a Phobius. They are all in for the ganks. For Elite Esports, they have picked up a god. Mid lane clearance are going to be very fast, but it kind of depends on his rotation where he is going to be available at the right moments. And to cut that off is going to be a Guinevere, most likely towards the jungle. Or even Rome. Flex, love that.
Well, absolutely. Okay, there's a Belleric and a Guinevere ban. Elite Esports have the last pick. Can go for Atlas, obviously. So Atlas, Alice, and the Goat. That's heavy crowd control. And to counteract that, there is that spatial migration combination with the power of dryads as well as demonic force. So so far so forth. I think drafting way wise, Team Elite Esports have that burst to burst down that Phobius. They just haven't gone for the pick off. I mean they have this a sitter that's a Atlas, so I think Atlas can be used as a pick off as well. So Mystic Rush combination will be in with the combination will be going in with the combination of Atlas engage first, and the God follows up with the Mystic Gush and the Mystic Projectile combination. Last two bans for both of the teams. Elite Esports have the opportunity to ban the Claude or the Marks. Okay, they will go for the Marksman. They will ban out the carry. Don't want to face a carry against it, and they also banned out the Moscow. I'm still thinking what they're gonna pick to melt down these Alice and the Atlas. Have the opportunity to ban out the Harith as well. Team Elite Esports, what they will ban here, and the team yellow velocity esports, they also can ban out this. I mean, they can't. They should not ban out the Harith. I suppose they can pick the Harith because they have the Phobius. So I think they go for this draft than banning out the Harith. Last ban can be a jungler, maybe I suppose a Fredrin or a Baksha.
Oh, I love that pick though. Baxia could fit in right well into the hands of Elite Esports, but for the side of Velocity Esports, it is kind of given that the Guinevere will be running towards the jungle as of now with the clearance of the Rome Belleric. But hey, there is still the junglers open for the side of Team Elite Esports, and it is going to be a Leo mod or something like a Suyu is still viable. Would love to see a Suyu game in this week because it's been so long that I have not seen one. But maybe Elite Esports will make up for that. Let's see. As of now, you know, God is going to be a little bit early present. So for them, it is going to look very, very good. So
The
let's see
Immortal One
how is
chose
it
me to
going to be
vanquish the
working around
shadows
with the
that plague
Suyu
this
pick.
world.
There you go. Would love to
I
see
didn't
how
kill the
it will
plague.
be
I
going around.
harnessed
Now
it.
that the Suyu is there, Snowball is a must. And as for the Guinevere, I do feel like Guinevere will be much reliant onto the team, when compared to a Suyu.
Well, absolutely. Whenever needs his teammates or her teammates to follow a spatial migration wallet requiem combo, and Elite Esports has gone for that Suyu. They have that, high HP EXP and high HP roam. So last pick in terms of marksmen, they got a Beatrix against them. So they got the Valentina. I suppose Valentina will be having that fatal links of that Atlas, so she can easily cast down onto that Suyu. So there will be the Claude. Claude at the last pick is absolutely, you know crazy in this economy, because right now Claude is just a prio pick for both of the teams. So we will be starting off with this draft. So I would like to ask our viewers, what do you guys think about this draft? Both of the team is ready to face each other in the battlefield. So this is the game number 3 of the evening, guys. And I have to ask Peachy as well, which draft are you supporting?
See, I was rooting for a Suyu game, so I will go, towards Iraq Esports today. Again, would love to see how the Suyu will be picking up. Most of the Suyu games that I have seen, I have actually seen the jungler literally jumping ahead. Maybe he has the items, maybe he has the farm. That when that's the scenario, I would love to see that. But hey, let's see what is it going to be if Suyu will be getting those kind of a snowball or not. And with that, into the land of dawn. Here we go.
Well, yep. And now both the junglers. Okay, Guinevere is not starting with the standard jungling, because right now the standard jungling is obviously, you go start with the cornermost creep, but she is going for first. She is going for the buff first. For now, I think Team Velocity Esports have that opportunity to capitalize on that. Both junglers actually started with the previous patch jungling rotation. Right now, people like to go for that cornermost first, then you go for your buff, so that you reduce your distance between your red buff, so you don't have to go back again. But right now, they will go back again to the cornermost creep. Meanwhile, you can see there is a fight for that D1 to. Is Atlas with stun? I think he's quite too low, and Minjay is going to force out a flicker from that Valentina.
Okay, Flicker already burnt out. It is just not even 2 minutes of the game, and Winter Ghost will have to play it a bit safe, relying onto her second skill. Now that, onto the bottom lane, we are actually looking at Vestia trying to dominate it. I do believe a lane cut would be very good, but the map presence where the jungler could be is also much needed. So no, as of now, need not to go for the lane cut. Really mindful of that. Love that, presence of mind. But hey, we are yet to see our first blood. Now that, slowly we are moving towards the turtle, it's going to be just few seconds in. The retribution, the power, and the battle of retribution is going to be really crazy to see. As of now, the teams are already into the mid lane. There you go.
That was a, I would say edging for the team fight, to be honest. But right now we are back for the turtle fight. In the bottom lane, there is trying to poke down this Alice on a crew, and I think that will be the great mistake for the Guinevere again. 4 versus just 2 in will have to flicker out for now. They don't have the enough damage to either melt the Alice or melt this Minjay, and they will be going harms away. And I think Minjay is quite too low for now to be into this team fight. I think he will be getting too low. That's overextension. Retribution can be a gap here, and that was a retri gap from the Tsuyu, as to that Tsuyu did the power of Riot catching on to that Tsuyu. Again, the Guinevere doesn't have that violent requiem. This area quite too slow, will be falling down in the hands of Guinevere as well. And right now, Team Velocity Esports getting back their, maybe gaining back what they lost in the previous team fight.
That is true. Look at them. Now they're all very, as of now, Velocity Esports really picking up the pace. There was a lot of presence of the Phobias right there, so that worked out very well for them. Our top lane has been very, very quiet, but maybe some action is kind of needed. Elite Esports needs to wait it out. Oh, okay, there's a stun coming in. Mystic Gush onto the Beatrix who flickers out the way, but there comes the taunt. Twilight jumps into the very right way. Joofy, even though there was such a good fatal link, he was not able to jump in. Velocity Esports jumps in with the Electric Limb. Look at the hero gets a kill right there, but at the same time, Winter Shadow will be taking one as well. What a clash of heroes, just like one by one. They were all here to take kills.
Yep, and also that was a, I would say, miss out on the power of Dryad. The miss power of Dryad didn't hit that Suyu, and he was able to free mark that Guinevere. Guinevere again, this is a flying cloud map. Will have to focus on to the red buff. I don't think so. She's going to take the red buff. She's going for that Alice. Alice will be harms away from that Guinevere with the dash. And meanwhile, you can see in the mid lane there is a slight skirmish. Guinevere focusing onto the farm. If we talk about the farm difference, both of the team are actually on equal on par to par. So not much of a difference. 4-2 scoreline. Velocity Esports is leading. But now Minje going for the red buff. Guinevere is actually slightly behind than Suyu in terms of farm. Because Suyu is actually level 7 and now he's going to be hitting level 8 when the Guinevere hits the level 7.
Okay, again, the total is up. We will be seeing a good amount of fights right there. But now that the god has been very active, I wanted to see a god being that active, because even though he is kind of like slight out of position, playing it very aggressively, he's able to get the damage in where the Suyu is picking up the crumbs. Wait a minute, Minje is trying to go in with the fatal links. His flicker is yet to come while Winter Shadow is waiting it out. Minje goes in for the Valentina, ignoring Valentina comes in for the back lane. The two goals, and oh my goodness, what a jump from the Guinevere, getting a double right there, but the one taken away from that. His teammates with fatal links connected so well, but there's no members right there to actually support Minje. Minje with the conceal joke getting out of the way, but with Shadow very persistent on taking down the kill. Now that Velocity Esports are back on track, like Esports, they will have to get to see what will be in it. Oh my god, Beatrix, she's all farmed up.
Well, absolutely, Beatrice giving the follow-up, and right now they are actually getting disrupted one by one. Team Elite Esports members, and they need to do something in order to stop the momentum coming in from the side of Velocity Esports. Duffy, I would like to see some itemization. He's 101 right now. I think he's just rushing down that Trinity. He needs that Swift Trinity to be able to do something with that Trinity. I need to see some itemization. That was a very good dodge coming in from the Duffy. Meanwhile, we can see that they are going in for, okay, that's a Sky Piercer from the god, and that's not a good itemization wise from that Alice. I suppose she's going for Curse Helmet, and the Suyu is going for, I don't know, I think he's going for Vorax for first itemization. DHS, I think it's a good choice. Despair and Malefic Gun is about to be completed, and there is a boot and an LT Lightning Truncheon in terms of the itemization from the Valentina. LT into the starting phase, I don't think so that's a good choice, but I think they are winning, so I don't think so that will be of any disadvantage from the side to the side of Team Velocity Esports.
That is true. We'll also see what Velocity Esports is actually cooking up right here with the last turtle. Now that the last turtle is up, they will have to wait it out. Vestia taken out quite early on. It's a 4v5 situation, and as for Elite Esports, it is best better to not contest for the turtle as of now.
Alright, and right now Team Elite Esports, they need to do something about their momentum in terms of if they want to win, because Atlas needs to buckle up and do some fatal links that can be of value for the side of Team Elite Esports. I think they need at least 5 minutes for this game in order to become, make it equal. But I don't think so. Team Velocity Esports is giving any room to breathe to the side of Team Elite Esports.
Okay. So far looking good. Hey, wait a minute, Ninja is getting stunned up. The phobias, this is the reason why you don't open up a phobias. Even though you do open it up, you have to make sure to pick out the counters as quickly as possible. So far, Team Elite Esports really behind on the kills as well as the goals. So they need to get a grip. They need to get a farm as quickly as possible. And actually to get a farm right there, they need to make sure the Suyu is getting some farm. So it kind of depends on the Suyu as well as the marksman as well. The marksman doing fantastic so far in my opinion. But the only problem I do see from the side of Team Elite Esports is a bit of a communication gap. Ninja gives out a great set, 2-man pickup, 3-man pickup. We have seen Flicker, Fatal Links as well. But the team, how they answer is a bit behind. So for them, I do want to see Nixar getting a good synergy with them. But hey, this is the SCRIMS. This is where you practice. So I do believe they will be working on that.
That's a good. I would say that's a good ambush coming in from the Twilight. Twilight actually proving dividends for his team with that Belric. I suppose Belric with the Revitalize is actually quite tough to use that power of Dryads, but you have the Belric that you are providing a lot of dividend. Just look at that, 307. That's actually 100% team fight participation from the Twilight. Actually playing so well. Meanwhile, I would say into the top lane, there's a spatial migration combination onto the top lane, and that was the Fatal Links, and that's the GG's for that Guinevere. I suppose that shouldn't be the case, but there's a Blade Surge and the Fatal Links from that Valentina that misses out onto that Suyu. Barely surviving that with a slither of HP.
Lord is up, Solsky. Now this is where Velocity Esports will be trying to get the river area control into their hands. For Double E, they have good amount of crowd control. The crowd continues dive in as well. 2 members, especially the Alice as well, but we do need to see some action right here. Vestia, so far, Alice, when she just jumps into the team fight, she's the first one taken out. So maybe if the team tries to prioritize the backpack lane, maybe the mage, or even for the marksman, I do believe they can get something right there. But as of now, onto the top lane, we will be seeing a bit of a nuisance. Oh, Mince going in for the stand, but Velocity was really in. Hero takes it up with the retribution. My goodness, the Cotton comes in for him, and he won't be surviving that. Dolphy, he did have a good chance to get away. Elite Esports, what a way to take away the Lord.
That's a very good Lord coming in from Suyu. That's on a growing mistake. Gush, I think Twilight is also in danger. Will have to proc and run away from that god. But instead of running away, he's trying to kill that god. And Twilight running away. But I think that's the GG's for the Twilight as well. Trying to kill that lord first and fastly into the mid lane. Valentina and this Guinevere working together. And they will get their hands onto that god. Sorry, not god, but that lord. And now, I think, as we were speaking of, they need 5 minutes Team Elite Esports. I think they got it also. And right now, I think the Claude will be popping off. He's actually playing so safe. The Blazing Dude is will be hitting a lot now because I think he has completed his Swift Trinity. And he just completed it right now into the 11 minutes 30-second marks. So, let's see what happens to Team Elite Esports and Team Velocity Esports into the next team fight because they will get 2 minutes for the next Lord. And they need to, Team Velocity Esports, they have a turret advantage, they have a neutral objective advantage. So they just need to play it right. And Team Elite Esports, they need a concealed play from the Atlas in order to do something.
Yep, that is much needed as of now, but we'll have to see if the team kind of commits. Despite them taking the Lord as of now, they will have to try to take in a bit. Oh my goodness! Minje! What a set! Mr. Gush been really heavy on that, but Twilight jumps in with the Wrath of Target there. 2 members looking quite low, and Hero gets one. You look at that, Hero looking quite low. Winter Shadow loses his stacks, right? That doesn't get the chump in, and he manages to get away. What a set by Minje. Goated, but that is what I was talking about. The team. If Nixar just popped his Mystic Gush, right away, I do believe there was a double kill for him.
Well, absolutely. And also, I think that was a very good counter engage from Velocity Esports as well. The Valentine jumping in with the conclusion that she will die as well, but she also did that fatal links, just to get that enough time so that not that they could get enough time so that this Benrick can use his power triads and he can survive the team fight, and also they get their trade off. Again, this Guinevere also, she could have killed Asuyu in the previous team fight, she couldn't do it, but meanwhile into the mid lane, that's a possible Mystic Gush from that Valentina. There is the Vista, he's quite to end. Again, that's a lot of damage coming from Nibiru, from the Beatrix.
That's true. Again, Beatrix was able to like a 2 to 3 shot Claude, so I do believe she is all farmed up. Now that the team is all left to see the Lord, the neutral objectives, such as the turrets as well. We'll see how Team Velocity Esports will be. Minjay goes into the set. Winter Shadow, this is what I was talking about once again. He will be taken down. Prestige. What a kill coming in. Now, for Velocity Esports, it is very easy to take away the Lord.
Well, absolutely. And also now Team Velocity Esports have opened up the map. Again, Alice hasn't built for that Beatrix. I think she needs that, the chastise, as well as she needs that blade armor along with that. Not even blade armor. If she can buy, the anti-cuirasses, she can actually sustain that damage coming in from the Nibirus, the Whiskers, the four guns of the Beatrix. Again, I would like to see some itemization because this Doffy is actually playing it really, really safe. He has that Purify as well. God, not a big fan of that. See, that's why he's not gonna melt that Belric, because he has opted out for that cooldown build. But again, Mystic Gush is actually so valuable. He can provide a lot of damage. He just needs that Divine Glaive. Okay, that was a facial migration to the mid lane. Minji going in for the zoning ability, and I don't think so they will getting their hands onto that, but that's a good freeze coming in from that Winter Shadow. And there is a power riot onto the back lane, and that's a very good zoning onto the Doffy free into the free hitting zone, flickering out that 4vs will have to fall back for now. Revitalize at the fatal links from that Valentina, a double kill from the Beatrix, and she is free hitting now, triple kill just by looking at into the map. Right now, Team Velocity Esports marching down from the bottom lane side as well. There is a possible Mystic Gush that is available from that Nixar. Will he do it or not? It's just a matter of seconds that we will get to know about that. That turret is hitting onto the 4vs Mystic Gush, but that's I would say a failed Mystic Gush. Recall taunt coming in from the side of Team Velocity Esports, and they are winning the game by sheer, I would say, very good synergy between them, and they played really, really beautifully into this game against Team Elite Esports.
100% right there. So you did have a good streak on to the neutral objective as well, but it was all broken down just because Minjay was taken down quite a lot of few times. Now again, very well played from both the sides. I really loved how Team EE came up with such a good draft as well, but no less from the side of Team the Velocity Esports as well. But again, MOBA 5v5 being MOBA 5v5, we know it is going to be only one winner. And talking about Twilight, who is the MVP, very well played. I feel like Twilight, he jumped in at the very right moments. He got that timing in his hands.
Well, absolutely. He got the timing, he got that positioning. I mean, if you can position yourself well, you are actually far ahead in this game from the, I would say, from the 90% of the people, or maybe let's just say 95% of the people. If looking at a score line, beautifully played by Team Velocity Esports, they increase their velocity just by game, by every week. That's why the name fits them right. They increase if they increase more of their velocity, they will turn into some heavy hitting team. Just like that, guys. This was the game number 3 of the evening, and I think Peachy, Team Velocity Esports really, really played well. So me and you will take our leave for now. And before we go, please like, share, subscribe the stream, and also please do some effort and look onto our description box. You can follow us into our on our social media, and please follow us onto Instagram, the Discord. Do join our community, the Facebooks, and the you will find all the necessary things into our description box. So please go ahead and follow us so that you can reach and get your you know early updates into your notification box, so that you can be the next team that can play this in this weekly scrims of Algambo Esports. See you after a short break, guys. Until then, please take care.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Mobile Warm-Up Class Series powered by Algambo Esports. You're here on for the game number 5. And this will be between Team Solstice versus Team Morian Royals. Okay, that is Clash God, absolutely. They changed their name, but they're back into the new OG name. And they might gonna give some new OG mechanics and strategies as well. It's a boy STZ on the casting deck, and with me, the beautiful lady around me is none other than Pitchy. Hello, Pitchy. How are you? It's not been a long time. We casted yesterday only.
We've been
Yeah.
together everywhere, so nice to see you again, Ashtizi. But again, the teams, look at that. There are new teams coming up, which I'm really excited about. Maybe in the future tournaments, we will be able to see one of these teams rising up at the top number 1 spot. So let's see who's it going to be. But let's focus on the scrims as of now. Amorian Royals banning out the Moscow. They do want to try something new. I do believe they might go towards the Beatrix or possibly a Claude as their pick. But Solstice, they are also cooking with the Zayton as well as the Valentina ban.
And that's what happening here. Like we talk about here. I mean, we talk about it because nowadays the utility junglers are mainly getting prioritized every time we see. But at the same time, there is the support meta coming in. So all these things can really give a lot of ultimates, a lot of sets to the Valentina's I'm used. So that might be the reason they're banning out this Valentina, or maybe there might be a Sora pick coming in. Morin Roll's going for the Chushin. Sora, is it Solstice? I mean, Solstice. Okay. Solstice.
Solstice, if I'm correct, but teams do correct us if that's not the pronunciation. With that,
I mean, it's Solus plus Justice kind of thing.
yeah, mix of words.
Okay.
I love that.
Fantabulous. Well, let's see. Selena, okay, what about Clint and Selena, what are you gonna tell about this two picks?
Okay, Selena. Now again, I really love the fact that this is a scrims and the teams are really trying it out. But as for the Selena, there is a reason why you don't see that hero in the meta. That's the reason, because she can't take control of the team fights. Now this kind of meta where the EXPs are very tanky, the team the mage requires to take over the mid lane as well as the sides, giving them the absolute pressure. For the Selena, it is like a hit or miss. If you get your ultimates up, as in the abyssal arrow right on the target, then only you can go. But you will be met by a lot of counters. And for the counters, we are talking about the Zushin. Maybe not, getting the stacks very early on, but the Yuzhong will be a very lethal threat. But let's not forget, even the Khalid is right there. Now, let's see, what is it going to be?
Mighty oaks from little acorns grow.
Yep. Khalid, Yuzong, there's a ban onto the... Is it Atlas? Yep, I feel so. It's Atlas. I'm sure it's Atlas. Yeah. Atlas Fanny being taken out and now the last fan coming in. It might be falling into the Fedrin. Yep, it will be, because as I told you, the utility picks are so much into the, scene right now. So they're going to ban this Fedrin out from the game. And now there will be a lot of picks coming in into the jungle. Bakshia is open, so there might be a chance we're going to see the Bakshia coming in. If not the Bakshia, then it might be falling towards the Akai or something. The Ling, Nolan, Suyu, all these things are open. And look at Solstice picks. They're kind of going a little bit damaged kind of thing. I mean, proper damage. They went for the Leo, the Vendetta, and I told you Panda might be the option. So Panda is coming in. Look at it.
Panda as the jungler. Now they really need absolute tankiness right there. So to counter that all off as well, we will be looking at a high loss. Very well picked coming into the hands of Solstice. We are talking about the 2-horse combo. I love that. I would want to see more of it, and Solstice really providing that. But my only problem would be the mid lane. How they will be trying to stop. It is kind of a, on the paper, it kind of seems like it is a very good counter counter for the Zushin, but in the theory, would love to see how it works. As of now, the teams will be starting. Let's see, what is it going to be, Ash? Do you, which side draft do you feel like is going to be the winning draft tonight?
I don't know. It will be the winning draft or it will be a losing draft, but let's see if Solstice can bring it up for them because the full-on damage, they're going a little bit, like the sustain is only the high loss, and if the engage from the Benedetta don't properly gets worked, then they might get a lot of stumble there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the game number 5 at Algambo Esports for the mobile warm-up class series. We're right now gonna watch it out between Team Morin Royals going straight against Solstice. Morin Royals last week, not last week, last on Wednesday they got a different. Today I believe they're gonna pull it out with a win here if they can actually doing it because they are really going for a proper set of comp kind of thing. But on the damage deal, we really need to see if Picture can get his damage back. So let's see.
Okay, here you go. First blood might be coming in from the Selena, I do believe, given the fact that her burst is really good for the early game. Look at that, the Bisolaro hit! And that's gonna be the first blood. Oppenheimer gets it right on point.
Oppenheimer, yep. He just comes forward in the point, but now he is kind of getting slaughtered down there. Now it's the first of the Solstice, and they're going for a trap down here. There's a tournament coming in. Up flicker, but look at that. Michelaro connected as well. The trap coming in. Sandguard into the way. Revitalize popped up. It's gonna go in. They're gonna go in. They're gonna overcome it. And eye for an eye. Gonna use it. That's a bullseye. Okay, 1-for-1 trade. Roamer for the Roamer, but that overextension from the Benedetta literally took her out from the position, and now he's gonna be taken down by the Claude. It will be a 2-for-2. This is why I don't like overcommitment. Like, you could have spared that Khalid out. I mean, you did get the first blood.
Razzo, the positioning. I'm not quite sure what happened right there for the teams, given the fact that it just was very, very deep inside the turret. And it's not even 5 minutes, so you are naturally gonna take too much damage. But now that the turtle is up, Ash, we will be looking at some action right here. And let's see what is it going to be. Which team is it going to be taking away that turtle as well? And as for the side of Team Solstice, I do believe they will be getting an easier time since they took over the river area control.
Maybe they're gonna try the turtle as well, but look at that. They're gonna go for a fight. Fantasy the years. Vendetta goes for the eye for an eye. Got a kill on the Khalid. Oh, that's a slain happened on the Benedetta as well. Turtle slain. Trade after trade, but it will be Team Solstice will have a huge lead here with the turtle and the kill.
Okay, the lead is riding high up for the side of Team Solstice, taking down the turtle as well. Loving the fact that, oh my god, a Bisolaro right on point and killing spree for Oppenheimer. His timings are really impeccable. So it is like he's very fast. Look at that. He's not concerned with the minions.
Let's see. Like for now, Pichi, it might be a thing like you want to get some more treats out of the turtle, but then suddenly Morin Royals are getting dispotted in each and every team fights. They need to play a little bit safe here. And look at the goal lead. Like it's not so big though, but still, it's gonna work a little bit harder onto them if it gets concentrated and increased at the time. For now, top lane. They do have a Claude, Pitchy, but the opponent side does have a Flint, so you need to play safe. Wait for your turn. Late game approach. Then might gonna get the spike and attack. Okay, turret destroyed.
Okay, so far looking quite good right there with how Team Solstice are moving around. There is no way! Busted out. That was really lethal coming in. 4-man standing in the bush. That was a lot. It's just not even 5 minutes, and yet this is kind of the gangs Team Solstice are giving in.
Yep, 6-3 the score is. Solstice is doing so great at this point. They got a structure onto the top. It's a macro lead they got. Now into the, turtle. They might gonna try to take this turtle out from the hand of the Akai. so far I'll say, like, even if they went for the utility, they couldn't manage to utilize it properly. BMI coming in the way. Oh, that's kill on the Benedict out of the bot side. It's a 1v1 situation when the Benedict couldn't manage to survive against the Yuzong.
Yuzhong got that trade at the very right moment now for the team. They will be trying to get a bit of a support towards Kenneth, who is onto the tank jungle. Now again, he does have a very good chance to take it all away right from the hands of the Leo mod, but I do believe he does need the support of his team. Will the team really come in or not? As of now, the team is playing it very passively. Morian Royals is not having a bit of a best of the time, but for them to have actually a good time, we will have to look forward to them actually jumping onto the gangs. What is it going to be? Look at that. Incon 05 jumps in for Sanford, but his passive from Sanford will be there. Kenneth?
Okay, that's a team fight coming in. Help by Spin, pinned onto the wall. The glorious spot comes in the way as well. Victor falls down. Incon in the way. Selling happened prawn to Incon by the Jushin. Gonna go in for the Desert Tornado. That's the poke coming in here. I mean, this is the thing I was talking from the very beginning as well. Like, discipline, or you just stay back a little bit, pause down everything. They will give you the opening to go for the fight. Why you to, overcome it every time? So Solstice now, they did a mistake, and totally we saw Maureen Royals grabbing up the trades as well as taking over the mistakes of Solstice.
Okay. Looks like Team Marin Royals are also climbing their way up again. Frazo being really aggressive right there, giving out a lot of vision, but the team is much more interested onto the Yuzhong as of now, who stole away that buff. That is definitely a lot. And Frazo, his positioning has been really good. He has been giving up that vision. He has been giving, making sure the team will be having a bit of an easier time as well. But at the same moment, I was kind of worried about the Selena, and Selena is pretty much doing very well. Opposite to what I was thinking. So the teams are really bringing back the metas where we are not expecting the turtle. Looks like it is going to be Team Solstice once again, taking away every single neutral objective. But as a tank jungle, it's okay even if you can't concern yourself with the turtle, but the setup is what is needed. Looks like Claude will be taken down in a 1v1, maybe a 1v2 situation right there. But as for Aaron and Fraser, Aaron takes down the damage onto himself.
It's kind of went good for Solstice as well. They got the Lord there, and now they might gonna go for the proper engage as well. Even structure-wise, they're ahead. They open up the map from the top. Mid-tier 1 is kind of vulnerable to the situation, falling down soon. Synchronization of the lane, oh my goodness, and now the structure got delivered on the bot side. That's what you need. Structure after structure, map expansion after map expansion, and they're literally taking advantage of it, putting the lane pressure top lane. There is a scrum is happening in which Khalid goes down. So do the high loss, 1-for-1. The trade is, but now the Jushin with a slanted player, double kill secured. Plot goes down, penalty used. Backtrack coming for the zone, double play by combination. Gonna get some kill. Neomod gonna go for the sustain, but look at that. Malefic Roar, Leo goes down, but at the same time the trap down is happening. Monster kill secured onto the Yuzong. Killing spree actually. That was a proper engage. I'll say, like, losing the jungler, getting 3 of the kills, still on the top.
Definitely still on the top with how he is actually moving around. We'll have to see how the teams are actually going to go for the neutral objectives such as the turrets, because the Maureen Royals are very, very much behind. The tier 3 turrets are picked off, and Victor taken down once again by the Clint. Crazy gameplay coming in from the Clint, who is just farmed up. I do believe for him, if he just picks up the defensive items as of now, he is all set. Let's look at the itemization as well, but Abyssal Arrow right on point.
Let's see. Like, now They'll have the lot for sure, Pichi. And after this, I'm not gonna try to go for the final push, but at the same time, are we going to see more enrolls going for a proper engage or proper trade kind of thing? Because he wants to try it. Let's see, like Victor, he yet to pick his Trinity. Look at it, like this DHS and Gold Staff doesn't have the Trinity yet. Do you think like after making the Trinity, he will have the damage spike to trade something out from Solstice and make the games good for right now? Electablow is coming in with the Black Dragon emerging as well, getting a lot of damage into the airborne state. Goes back to the safer zone. Amishal Arrow connected. Glorious Mother coming in. That burst is insane. Unstoppable for the Clint. Killings beyond that execution. The double secure on the Dragon. Vendetta falls down. Doesn't matter. They grabbed up 3 of the trades. And now they could clear out this bot tier 2. As well as the Lord marching from the top. So, Pichi, do you think this might be the final push?
I mean, they can get a very good defense if the Eren gives out a good set, but I do believe the set's gonna be a bit delayed since they need to take over the Lord as quickly as possible. Look at that. As of now, mid lane will be taken up. Zushin is unable to do anything despite being such a great pick right here. And as for the side of Team Orient Royals, we will have to see. Oh, Frezzo! Wait a minute. Abyssal Arrow is just, the stats been up there, so it was just trying to get her stats in. The Lord has been delayed a bit so that, there would be a bit of more poke, a bit of more time as well. Abyssal Arrow, there you go.
There you go. They're gonna go for the end right now. Electro final blow. Victor falls down. It's the time to get on, but look at it. They're gonna trade it off with the Benny skill, but look at it playing. He goes inside the tier. Solstice is right now dominating the match here. And the heavy spins comes in. Flicker from Das. A defense from the side of Team Solstice. But look at it. Jump and the skill. Will we gonna get it? No. It's just the mid tier 1. As well as maybe the bot tier 1 as well. Abyssal Arrow missed out. Top tier 1 is about to fall down as well. Everywhere they're syncing up the minions. They're taking down those inhibitors. So the opening of the base will be properly done and dusted.
Let's see. So far, Team Solstice doing very well with 18 kills. That is like double of what Team Morin Royals have as of now. And Morin Royals have been newbie as well as of now. We have been seeing them play it out time by time. So I do believe the comeback is actually possible for them. But to actually make a comeback, they need to get Victor farmed up. They need to make sure Kenneth is also getting a very good setup. And as for Kenneth and Eren, they do give out a good setup, but the only problem is Solstice is catching the back lines of guard with the Benedetta. And with that going around, it is very hard for Morin Royals to actually go in and actually get up with the damage onto the front lanes, since Kenneth as well as Eren are actually giving out that kind of a set. A lot is going to be up as of now. Morin Royals, will they be able to get a good amount of, contest? I don't believe it's going up. But Victor, though, I wish he kind of went to the opposite lane.
Got the Lord there now. Chloe's Papa coming in. Oh my goodness, they managed to take down Victor as easy as possible. And now, without Victor, you don't have someone to clear the lanes here. Lord, the Lord rage. The way Lord is marching, and I felt like this is fine. I mean, now it might be the end towards the final push. Let's see if they're gonna try to tip it up. Oh, Amishal Arrow connected there. They're gonna go for the engage. The heavy spins coming the way. Is pulling pin them down at the base, but look at the legendary out of the Yuzong. Dragon falls down. Shut down happened at Clint. They couldn't manage to defend the base because this will be the end for the side of Team Morin Royals. They will lose back to back in this week. The Team Solstice. What a game it was! Like a powerful start. They managed to concentrate it into the mid to late phase. Lord after Lord, structure after structure. A good macro play, I'll say. Good macro sense and a good macro play from Solstice. Some of them for the victory at this MOBA Warmup Class Series. What a game it was. MVP, it's Oppenheimer, whereas Frazo with a KDA of 0-14. A perfect wingman in this game so far. Went for Cuban, he went for the Penedata so that they will have the damage EXP and all those things. And they proved it so well, Pichi. And this will be the end.
That's true. They
Yeah.
have definitely did a wonderful job right here with Oppenheimer getting up the MVP as well. Wasn't expecting a Selena to be MVP, but hey, we did get that into this game. 13 minutes, 40 seconds. All it took for the team to get a good amount of sustain as well as the damage, and more than the sustain, it was the damage that was very much in. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this match and was cheering for your favorite team, but don't worry, we still have two more teams that's going to be up onto the next match. And with that, Ash, are we ready to take a short break?
Yup, why not?
Let's go. Is it going to be a short break? But do come back, ladies and gentlemen. Till then, see ya. Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are so sorry to bear the bad news as of now. Yes, you guys were waiting for the last match to happen, but looks like the teams are not showing up. So that's going to be quite unfortunate today that we won't be able to get to see one. But don't worry, this week the scrims are, done for the week. But for the next week, we are up. Let's see. Do join the Discord for the registration. There's going to be the link, and every instruction will be clear right there. And as for the teams who have been, not showing up, they have been banned from Algambo Esports for 2 weeks, so they cannot play anymore. So, and that is quite, this is the reason why the sportsmanship and, you being on time is really, really important. So, Ash, what do you think?
Yeah,
Next team, I mean, the next week, are we gonna see something, exciting coming up?
yeah, definitely. I mean, we're planning for something new. So, yep. I mean, analysts and all those things. Oh, sorry. I revealed it. Sorry. Nothing, guys. Nothing much you need to know in the next episode of Weekly Scrim Clash. Actually, next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We added on one day. And there might be some new games coming in as well at Algambo Esports. So stay tuned to know what those new games, new tournaments coming forward. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like the stream, share the stream to your friends, comment down your thoughts to reform the weekly stream and all. And yeah, join our Discord server to get more info about the next events and the next tournaments of Algambo Esports. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Love you all, everyone. Good night. Sabakir. See you guys.